Welcome to the 8th Annual Fujitsu Laboratories of America Technology Symposium. My name is Dan Callahan. For years, I was the Vice President of Sales Operations at Fujitsu, and now they've let me back to the field running sales in the Western US. I have the privilege of being your MC at today's event. Please allow me to begin by mentioning a few housekeeping items. If you have questions about anything or need assistance, please go to the registration desk where you checked in and ask anyone with a yellow ribbon on their badge. You've probably seen the refreshments on your way in just outside the doors and in the grand lobby. We have surveys, and please return your survey to the registration desk at the end of the day to be entered in a drawing for a chance to win a Fujitsu scanner. The restrooms are located around the corner from the auditorium, again, just behind where you checked in at the registration area, if you haven't found them yet. In case of an emergency here in the building, the Computer History Museum alarm system will enable all the strobe lights in the building, as well as automated voice announcement for people to vacate the building. Staff will also go around and help assist with the crowds. For tweeters, please use hashtag #FLATS2014 when tweeting. And you can find the full agenda and bios on the event website at http. I won't read it out. You can see it there above on the screen. Public Wi-Fi here at the Computer History Museum is CHM Public, all caps, no password required. If you'll be so kind as to turn your cell phones to silent, that'll help our presenters and panelists. Now I'd like to introduce Yasunori Kimura, the President and CEO of Fujitsu Laboratories of America, to share his opening remarks for the symposium. Mr. Kimura is President and CEO of Fujitsu Laboratories of America. He joined Fujitsu Limited in 1981. And throughout his career, he's been engaged primarily in computer system design and development. Please welcome Yasunori Kimura.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Yasunori Kimura. I'm the President and CEO of Fujitsu Laboratories of America. Welcome to our 8th annual symposium. We are very happy that you took time away from your busy schedule to be here to discuss with us today. We host this symposium annually to provide a platform for our employees, customers, and partners to come together to hear and discuss the latest trend in the ICT industry. I believe we are now in the midst of major transformation of the innovation process, from new idea generation to funding, development, and manufacturing. These disruptions will have a major impact on all of us working in the ICT industry. The theme for the symposium, the changing landscape of innovation, open, shared, and democratized, is very timely as we all need to understand the risks and rewards of this transformation. We will delve into the life cycle of this new collaborative economy and how people, business, and society throughout the world can participate and benefit. In addition to attending the session, I encourage you to meet and network with the speakers and your fellow attendees. Events like this, these are a great opportunity to establish new connections for future collaboration and partnership. During my talk today, I'd like to take a few minutes to introduce you to Fujitsu Laboratories and our history and accomplishment. We conduct advanced research in multiple ICT areas, and I would like to give you a brief introduction to some of our research activities in smart energy and healthcare areas. I would also like to share my thoughts on the theme of our symposium. The collaborative economy is reshaping how we build, buy, and sell products and services. And new innovations are lowering the risk cost of entry for sharing, starting new businesses, and challenging established B2B and B2C relationships. Finally, I will share with you our program and exciting lineup of keynotes and panel discussion we have planned for the day. We are a wholly owned subsidiary of Fujitsu Laboratories Limited, based in Silicon Valley, with an additional office in Richardson, Texas. We are founded in 1993 and celebrated our 20th anniversary last year. We are one of the first Japanese ICT companies with a dedicated R&D center in the Silicon Valley. We have 70 researchers here in the United States conducting advanced research and next generation information and communication technology solutions. The constant pursuit of innovation is in our Fujitsu DNA and is core to what we do in our labs. But we cannot do it alone. We must collaborate closely with our fellow Fujitsu Group companies and customers in the dynamic innovation ecosystem that build synergies with leading universities, research institutes, and other technology partners. Under our networked and open vision, we have been collaborating with many universities and other research institutes in North America, including Stanford, UC Berkeley, MIT, and so on. Over the past 2 decades, we have played an integral role in business and technology breakthroughs in Fujitsu. Being physically in Silicon Valley and part of the innovative culture has enabled us to further drive our research and advance Fujitsu technology and market leadership. Innovation has always been the bedrock of what Fujitsu does. We realize that Silicon Valley is a center of innovation with many ideas and talents around here. The focus of FLA's R&D used to be on platform technologies. But after Fujitsu announced its vision on human-centric intelligent society in 2010, we started to shift our research from technologies to solutions that can help resolve social issues, including healthcare, education, and smart energy. Last year, we led the market by being one of the first in the world to receive certification on compliance with OpenADR 2.0b. The latest demand response standard, this is the latest demand response standard released in July 2013. In addition to supporting standardized demand response solutions, FLA is developing differentiated technologies to address the issue of security, privacy, resource management, and energy data analytics. As part of a healthcare-focused data-driven life innovation project at Fujitsu Lab, we have built a real-time mobile data aggregation and analysis platform that we call the Sprout. The Sprout is an open platform. It makes it easy to develop sensor data-driven services of your own. We've delivered Sprout services and solutions with partners in several domains, such as a recent one with Sony Pictures Entertainment in Los Angeles on corporate wellness ROI. Now, let me spend a few minutes talking about our event theme, which centers on the collaborative economy. Looking back at history, we remember long ago, we had an artisan culture where many people made unique goods by hand, such as stellar pictures. Here in 1425. Along came Industrial Revolution. The mass production in factories enables economies of scale, but it was over look-alike items. But now we have the best of both worlds with several new developments that enable efficient production of unique goods by ordinary people, such as this man pictured in the tech shop makerspace doing 3D printing here. In the past, we lived in the age of mass production and mass consumption. The efficiencies of scale brought great benefits to the world, but some of our artisan culture was lost, as well as the cross ties between makers and consumers, and buyers and sellers. The information revolution follows a similar path with scale achieved by likes of the printing press. Then along came the internet. We started with Web 1.0, which was the read-only web, where websites were nothing more than a static brochure for companies, and directories like Yahoo were only way of finding the information. There were very few publishers and many readers. But when Web 2.0 came along, the web became the read and write web. Suddenly, we all became publishers who could create media, comment on it, rate it, mix it, and share it with each other. Now, we see a similar paradigm shift happening for physical world. After many decades of mass production, we are in the world of a few manufacturers and many consumers. But recently, the maker movement is taking off, as many of us have access to tools and platforms to create prototypes and unique items very efficiently. Combining the advances both in the world of bits and atoms, we see consumers evolving into prosumers, means ordinary people empowered as both informed, proactive consumers and producers, who are not only consume but rate and create goods and services, then barter them with their peers. Almost anybody can make almost anything. There are numerous stories of now startups and individuals finding all the resources to turn their idea into reality. For example, apps at Pebble beat the rest of us to market with the first e-paper watch by raising over $10 million from peers on Kickstarter. Jake then went to Kirky with his clear idea for his adjustable power ideas for adjustable power strips, and soon found 709 others helping him make it a reality. And they all now start sharing the revenue. TechShop is another example. A makerspace with all the resources anybody can need to rapid prototype and just about anything. This is a challenging landscape of innovation, one that is open, shared, and democratized. I see the life cycle of product development and value creation is being transformed in front of us. Most large-scale enterprise-class software applications are now built on open source software. It is no longer just government and big corporations doing the innovation. Thanks to the new services like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Yelp, we can all connect to each other and transact as peers. Enabled by shared access to platforms and tools like Odesk, Indiegogo, and TechShop, we can now collaborate each other for funding, making, sharing, and selling. These innovations are being driven not only by small agile startups, but also by large enterprises, which are adapting to take advantage of this new paradigm shift. Examples include Home Depot, which is developing a new business model around leasing tools for home improvement, as opposed to selling them. And Coca-Cola, which is using crowdsourcing for idea generation around new product and marketing campaigns. So today's program includes keynotes, presentations, and panel discussion on the various aspects of the collaborative economy and how open and shared innovation is changing the world around us. We will start the day with the keynote presentation by Hideyuki Saso, President of Fujitsu Laboratories Limited. This will be followed by an industry keynote by Mark Hatch, CEO of TechShop. We will then break into a panel session that will examine the various aspects of changing the landscape of innovation, from open source development to manufacturing and crowdfunding and sourcing. We will conclude the day with another keynote by Duncan Logan, CEO of Rocket Space. This is a technology symposium, so please feel free to share your views with us and other attendees, and let's have a fruitful discussion on today's topic. Thank you. Have a great time at our event. Thank you very much.